Representation and diversity were always aspects of reality taken up from kids' animation, based on the basis that kids are too dumb and too innocent to understand the complex themes regarding gender, race, and sexuality, and even too dumb for somewhat complex storylines. However, there has been a recent renaissance in children's shows which try to showcase more diversity, from things like The Legend of Korra to the remake of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and The Owl House. Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts 2 turns this notion completely on its head confidently and unapologetically. Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts is a children's TV show first released on Netflix on January of 2020. It explores a post-apocalyptic world in which animals have mutated and therefore are called mutes. These animals have created groups, from the mod frogs to the theaters. They rule the surface and have driven the humans into burrows. Kipo herself is referred to as the Burrow Girl. Personally, I really like how the show puts a lot of focus into the soundtrack and music, which is just really enjoyable and different to hear. Immediately, Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts sets itself apart. Too often, characters representing people of color are typically seen as side characters while the main character is white. Kipo does not care to fall into this whitewashed trope, and instead, the main cast is made completely of people of color, 2 African Americans, and Kipo herself. The main character is of mixed race from her African American dad and Korean mother. Besides having people of color as the main characters, Kipo also battles stereotypes for these people through simply showing them as people. From showing Kipo's dad as loving and attentive, battling black male violence stereotypes, to Kipo, who is a young girl in love with science, battling stereotypes that girls cannot be intellectually interested in things like science. In fact, diversity and accepting everyone as they are is one of the main lessons that Kipo tries to instill throughout its story, as Kipo tries to bring everyone, mutes and humans, together, while also acknowledging the fault in our own society facing these ideas. Kipo herself is a symbol of this diversity, as she is half mute and half human, and even without knowing this at first, she still befriends mutes as a human anyways. Through this, she manages to eventually create the Human-Mute Ultimate Friendship Alliance, or HMUFA, towards the end of the series as the enemy turns from a tyrant mute to a human bent on going back to the traditional ways of subservient animals and humans at the top. In fact, Kipo directly states that humans are one of the greatest traditionalists and arrogant beings, and only will ever do something in their own self-interests to maintain a position as the apex predator, which in a world full of mega bunnies and cats with axes is all too real. In fact, Emilia refers to the solution to her goal as a cure, as if it's something good, in which all the mutes will be rendered as primitive animals once again. Kipo is all accepting, and Emilia is all hating of all mutes, the antithesis to Kipo's character. Additionally, Kipo handles the idea of sexuality. Of the main cast, Benson, without any hesitation, states,
"I'm gay."
A coming out scene that is handled so well, and it is not in any way sugar-coated for the younger viewers. This is only continued for the rest of the season explicitly and without any qualms about it, because it is just part of Benson's character and of who he is. Benson gets a crush on Troy, to seeing them banter with one another, asking each other out to prom, and even being together 5 years later, but it still is not the only thing about Benson's character. It is simply a part of who he is. Kipo and the Age of Wonderbeasts is a testament that compassion and being open to learning new things and accepting people is one of the most vital things that we can do as we live our lives. And it does this by showcasing this compassion and diversity extremely explicitly with no room for confusion or misinterpretation. Kipo is so unapologetic about it and does not try to dumb down any of these issues, but rather provides it in a format that is easy to digest and is engaging. This is something that makes Kipo so special and so worth the time to watch, enjoy, and love.